Hello and welcome to iThrive Academy. Today we're going to learn about a tiny and a cute gland. If triggered, can create millions of disruptions in our body. You guessed it right. It's the thyroid gland. So in today's discussion, we will learn about the gland, what it can do in our body, what are the different thyroid tests that can be helpful for determining the functioning of the thyroid gland, and lastly, the dysfunctions it will create if triggered. Let's go. So, what is a thyroid gland? The thyroid is a butterfly shaped gland located at the base of our neck, which produces thyroid hormones. The thyroid gland uses iodine from food that we eat to make two thyroid hormones called the T3 and T4. It stores these thyroid hormones and releases them as our body needs it. So, when the production of these hormones takes a toll, it's called the thyroid dysfunction or thyroid diseases. Now, what all are the functions of the thyroid gland that it looks after? First, it helps in adjusting body's temperature according to the environment. Then, it takes part in the process of converting the food we eat into the energy that we require, called the metabolism. It helps in the regulation of heart rate, tuning in ovulation, fertility, and menstruation in women. It also looks after the muscle contraction action, and last but not the least, synchronizing with the growth hormone for proper growth and development in children. Now, how do we know that if the thyroid gland is functioning optimally? You conduct a blood test. So, in a lot of reports, we see that the total T3 and total T4 are there, but we should take in account the free values of these hormones because the total T3 and the T4 are bound with proteins and they will not provide an accurate value of the actual T3 and T4 roaming around in our body. Hence, always go for the free values. The free T3, also known as triiodothyronine, T3 is the active thyroid hormone. T4 is the inactive thyroid hormone, which is also known as thyroxine. Then we have TSH. TSH stands for thyroid stimulating hormone. And the test measures how much of this hormone is present in your blood. TSH is a hormone that's produced by the pituitary gland in your brain for a single purpose of sending a message to the thyroid gland. The pituitary gland constantly monitors your blood for levels of thyroid hormones, and if it detects too little or more, it releases or stops the TSH production. This gland tells your thyroid gland to make and release the thyroid hormones into your blood. An ultrasensitive TSH is an early and sensitive marker for determining thyroid dysfunction. Hence, always consider an ultrasensitive TSH test. And lastly, we have the thyroid antibodies. The presence of thyroid antibodies indicates the presence of an autoimmune thyroid disorder. What all tests do we consider in an antibodies test? First is the TPO. Thyroid peroxidase is an enzyme normally found in the thyroid gland. TPO plays an important role in the production of thyroid hormones. A TPO test detects antibodies against TPO in the blood. The presence of TPO antibodies in your blood suggests that the cause of thyroid disease is an autoimmune disorder, such as Hashimoto's. In autoimmune disorders, your immune system makes antibodies that mistakenly attack your normal healthy tissues. Next, we have is TGAD, thyroglobulin antibody. A thyroglobulin is a protein produced and used by the thyroid gland to make hormones T3 and T4, both of which help control metabolism and growth in our body. A thyroglobulin antibody test is done to check for thyroid cancer or any kind of autoimmune thyroid disorder. High TGAB is common in people with thyroid dysfunction. And lastly, we have TSI. Thyroid stimulating immunoglobulin. A TSI test measures the amount of thyroid stimulating immunoglobulin in your blood. TSI mimics the TSH and triggers your thyroid gland to produce an excess of thyroid hormones. Now that we have learned about the different tests, let us now learn about the dysfunctions that are caused by an impaired thyroid gland. These are the listed thyroid dysfunctions that we commonly have heard and are known. First is hypothyroidism. Hypo means low or underproduction of the enzyme, and hyper means high or overproduction of the enzyme. Hence, hypothyroidism results when the thyroid gland fails to produce enough of hormones, and hyperthyroidism results from overproduction of thyroid hormone. Subclinical hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism is called as mild thyroid failure. Next is Hashimoto's. Hashimoto's is an autoimmune condition, a disorder in which our immune system turns against body's own healthy tissues. In people with Hashimoto's, the immune system attacks the healthy tissues of your thyroid gland. And lastly, we have Graves' disease. Graves is an immune system dysfunction that results from the overproduction of thyroid hormone. It comes under the umbrella of hyperthyroidism. Being a tiny gland, it is more powerful than we know. Take care of your thyroid gland. Get in touch with us for more. Thank you so much.